Have you ever felt that you can understand what English speakers are saying, but you just don't know what to say back? I think it can be this way for many people when you're learning a language. I have a lot of students that tell me that this is the biggest problem when it comes to learning English. I know for me, when I started learning Japanese, I found that I would start to understand and I was able to pick up Japanese a lot faster than I was able to speak it. So, in today's video, let's start talking about some ways that you can start to improve your fluency and start having better conversations. Are you ready to learn how to improve your English fluency? If so, then let's get right into it. You can't just focus on listening without also speaking. A lot of us focus on receptive skills such as listening to podcasts or music or watching TV and YouTube. Then you never have a lot of time or chance to actually use and speak English, so you never end up actually getting any better than when you started. You need lots of chances to speak on top of just listening and reading in English. Try to make or find time to actually put yourself into positions to be able to use what you learn, and I think you'll really start to notice the improvements. When you do learn something from YouTube or TV, try to make sure that you actually get out there and put it into practice with a real person as soon as possible. One way that you can do this is you can try to narrate in your head. So whatever is happening in your day, try to narrate it in your head using your own voice. By doing it this way, you don't have to worry about people judging your English. Also, it's a good way for you to try to improve on your English speaking skills at your own pace. If you aren't someone who embarrasses easily, how about try the same thing, but speak out loud to yourself and then go through what's going on in your day in English. If you are driving to work, talk about what you see. If you're taking a walk, how about taking the time to just really look around and speak out your surroundings? Whatever it is, you just want to be able to use vocabulary that you know in your own words, using your voice as much as possible for many different situations. This way you can start to train your brain and your mouth to start using English. If you have the chance and you see something that you don't know, make a note of it. Then you can go back and practice speaking it out loud once you know what it is, and that's going to take you right into the next step, which is if you have the chance or the ability, how about talking to a teacher? Talking to an actual English language teacher is a great way for you to set the conversation. You can go over things that you don't do so well. Also, you have someone that's able to correct your weak points. It's a good place for you to make mistakes. Also, you can get specific advice. If you do have the chance to talk with a language teacher, think in between lessons about some things that you would like to work on and make sure to bring it up at your next session. Maybe it's something such as a grammar point or how to pronounce something. The more prepared you are for how you want to study with a language teacher, the more effective it's going to be for you. Find someone online, or it can be in person. It can be free, for a fee, one-on-one, or in a group. However you end up doing it, having an actual language teacher can be a big help to your English improvement if you use them the right way. Next thing that you can do is to write down what you want to say. You can start by preparing some sentences. Then think of some conversation topics. Think about some questions that you always get or some questions that you yourself want to ask. Get your thoughts down because you do get confidence from being prepared. I have a student who starts each class with a few prepared sentences, or she has some things written down that happened between classes that she wants to talk about. It gets her started confidently in the conversation. Also, we have a great jumping point and some things that we know that we can talk about during this session. Everything else flows from there. For example, what do you do or where are you from are some simple questions that you might get. How about write down your answers to some of those simple or basic questions that you think you might get, and then really think about how you would answer something like this before you have a conversation. Once you do end up getting into a real conversation, see what goes right, but Also, see what goes wrong and where you might want to work on things for later, and this is how you can improve. Soon you'll have many phrases and a variety of different ways that you can talk about and discuss many different things in English. Next, make your focus on being understood. Don't let small mistakes or not being perfect stop you from just speaking at all. This is not your native language, so mistakes are natural, and sometimes making a mistake can be a good way for you to improve. The reactions that you get when you do make mistakes can lead to you learning something new. Can you be understood and can you understand the other person? If you have these two things, then you have the making of a great conversation and everything else can go from there. And that is the most important thing. So focus on your fluency and not perfection. And you will always get better the more chances that you have and the more experience you have in different situations. So just remember, focus on the fluency. You don't have to be perfect. No one is. Another thing that you can do to improve your fluency is to practice something called shadowing, where you repeat what you hear. Using shadowing, you don't have to worry about all of the grammar rules. Train your mouth and ears to listen and speak. I want you to focus on the sounds and pronunciation. I already have a dedicated video on how to do shadowing, so I will leave that linked in the somewhere in the comment section. So check that out to learn more about how to do shadowing, and that's going to take us right into the next point. The last thing that I want to talk about today is recording yourself. You can hear how you sound when you record yourself, and you might not like what you hear, and it might sound strange, but I do think that recording yourself is a great way for you to improve your fluency in English. Take it as a chance to see where you made your mistakes so that you can correct those mistakes and improve. Notice the differences and see where you have improved, but also notices the parts of your speech that might need a little more work. Set a time goal, for example, maybe a half a year to a year. Do the same recording and see how much you have improved from the time you first recorded it to the end of that set time goal. You can also try your recording against a model voice so that you can see the differences in the two. Keep your recordings and you can go back from time to time and check your progress. Do any of these give you some ideas about how you can improve your fluency in English? If you got any benefit out of this video, is there someone else that you think would also get the same benefit out of this video as well? If so, how about send this over to them? Also, if you're interested in learning any more English with me, how about click on the video that's coming up on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in another video. See you.